So Professor Liu is going to show you do number 1. For the number 1 question, you need to download from here. You download from here, and we're going to modify this program and to have to include the function. Alright, so this is what you downloaded. You download it. Alright, and we run this program one more time for you. So build. So I have a, maybe let me put 36, and that'll be 6. So now we're going to modify this to have your main function call functions. I will start with the first one. It's called get input. When I get input, I will have function down here to get input and pass back to the main. So that means that variable has to travel back and forth among two functions. So that variable cannot pass by value, has to pass by address. When you pass by address, it's called pass by reference. And the rule for that is you must use void. You cannot use other function return. So I do void. I want to get input. It's okay. And double. Don't forget you're going to put n. Okay, and semicolon. It's okay, everybody. All right. So, yes.
What does the ampersand do in this case?
That's an address. That's an address for the num and pass to the n. So num and n is going to use the same address.
Okay.
All right. So right here, let's click the here we create the definition. I always call that screwdriver. All right. That's actually a command for you to create your your definition. So you're going to say, all right. So we're going to say this. CL enter a decimal number. Is that right? And in that will be n. Okay. So gentlemen and ladies, all right, because n doesn't have a memory location. All right, so let me close this. I'll show you right now. Okay, so double num. Whenever you call double num has 8 bytes, has a memory location, at RAM. This is the done by Visual Studio. All right, so for me, I usually tell student is this. I told student, all right, so once you create something here, double num, and if you create that, so num has a house now, and the house has an address 1 2 3 EF. All right, so now but if I call n here, I'm going to call n here. So n, so now we are going to do this. So we're going to get rid of enter decimal number here. Is that okay? So we're not going to do this right now. We are going to delete this. Okay. So let me close this. So these two lines are closed right now. Instead of I should write get input. Is that right? And I'm going to put num. So at this moment, your num will pass that address to n. Your num will pass the address to n. So whatever I get right here will pass back to num. All right, so let me draw the picture for you one more time. So double num, once you write like that, your compiler will give you a memory location. And to memory location, I usually tell students think that's a house. Okay, so the memory location right now has address 123 EF. Okay, so you have an address right now. So you have a house, you have address 123 Main Street, Whittier, California. You have address. All right. So right here, when you get input num, when you call this n, so this is the house right now. The house for num. This is a house for num. But when you call this n, you give this address. You give this address to n. So n doesn't have its house. N doesn't have this house. No. So this one is num's house. This one is num's house. Num is going to give address to n. So both live here. Both live here. So if I do this, I enter a decimal number. I enter 49. If I enter 49 here, that's N49 I put here. Once I enter 49 here, both variable will be assigned as 49. Do you understand that? Yes or no? Alright, so both variable. So if I go get 49, so for example, enter decimal, I got 49 here. So once I call integer num here, at this after I call, my num equal 49. Alright, one more time. After I get input, so I come here to get input. Once you do get input, your code will jump to here. When I see in 49, so here is 49. Okay, 49. Once I finish 49, after here, my code will jump back. My code will jump back. Is that right? Will jump back to here. This spot. At this spot, my num is 49 right now. Alright? Alright, let's continue. So let's continue. We are going to call calculate square, sqrt. Is that right? We're going to do that. Instead of doing here, we're just going to do calculate sqrt. So we are going to do this. Alright? So we are going to say, and this we let it return function. Is okay? So we're going to say double, okay, because sqrt will return. So you say calc sqrt. Is okay? Then you are going to put a double n. Notice the difference from line number 4 and line number 5. Line number 4 passed by address. 5 passed by value. Alright, so I coming back here. I get my definition. Alright, so I'm going to return, okay, is what? sqrt n. Alright, so I will return that. Alright, so this time I am just going to we can display, okay. So but I'm just going to do like this. CL, we can do display, but I'm going to just show you can actually do like this way, the square root of num, and change this one. Alright, and replace this one to calcSq. I type wrong. Okay, sqr. What? sqrt, right? Okay, forget. Okay, I just write it wrong. sk. Sorry. So, sqrt. Sorry. And I need to fix right here too. Okay.
You got a typo on 5.
I know. Sorry. And I'm going to put none. Alright. So like that. Again, change the length 5 qrt. Okay. Alright. So now we make it to become a two function right now. It's okay. Two functions. Alright, let me run it one more time. So build it and start without debugging. Alright, so let me do 81. So that's 9. Same thing. Alright, now since we already know how to loop, so we're going to loop this one too. Okay, so when I loop this one, you tell me, okay? So there are 3 types of looping. One is called while loop. One is called what? Do while loop. One is called for loop. For this one, since I'm just reading one value, I can use do while loop. But this one, I want to use while loop to try it. Is that okay? Alright. So if I do while loop, I need to have how many reading?
At least one.
No. While loop 2. Because 2 reading. The first one is called what? Primary read. The second one is called what?
Update.
Yeah, update. Okay. So we are going to do this. That's your primary read. Alright. And while here. Okay. And we are going to use anything. Let's use 0. Okay. While num not equal 0, we just use anything. And I'm just going to cut this line, Control X, put inside here. Alright, after this, I also need to have my update read. Where I should put my update read? Can you tell me?
Inside the body.
Inside the while body. Yeah. Control C, Control V. Alright, so primary read while the number, the variable, we call that variable to decide the variable, compared to a sentinel, and we do something. Alright, so let's write it right now. Let's run this program. So I build it. And I start without debugging. So enter. Let me put 16. Alright. Or 25. 5. I mean at 56. Anything will become decimal number right now. And I'm going to put 0 to stop. Okay. So here you can fix a little bit better. Enter a decimal number here. And you want to say 0 to stop the program. Alright? Alright, so if you already finished your earlier, I know there are one student already finished, don't need to fix. I already gave you the points, early submission points. So don't fix. Just make sure and just you understand how to do it. That's all. So that's number 1. I'm done. Okay. So I'm going to stop the recording.